Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Hope everybody is doing good. Hi, Tamara Waters. This isn't really a new intro. This is like an interim intro. Until I get the other intro sorted out. Because there's I'm probably just gonna remove the music and just use like StreamYard's music just because it's a little bit cheaper. Sorry, guys. I know we love the intro music, but it does cost money to have that nice intro music. At least for now, anyway. Anywho, hey Carol, hey Cookies and Cream. Shout out to the Mod Squad. Hey Eleanor. Hey Connie Balmer. Hey Black Queen. Hey Simply Sweet. Thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Okay, some lovely pictures of Meghan with Emma. Is it Emma Grede or Emma Greedy? Because I heard somebody else saying Emma Greedy, and I've been saying Emma Grede. Emma the Moneymaker, I think is the best name because she really is, and a very smart, innovative, uplifting woman, and we're gonna get through all of that. But just a reminder before we really get into it. Just a reminder that on Sunday I will be live with Sussex Squad Family TV with Brian. So make sure that you tune in to that 6 p.m. UK time. And make sure that you go and subscribe to that channel as well. And be ready with your questions, thoughts, and whatnot. I can see their channel is still at 15.9k subscribers. So I don't know. Actually, I've got the link here. So if we by the end of this podcast, can we please get Sussex Squad Family TV to 16,000 subscribers? That would be great. If you're not subscribed, Brian has a very unique style of delivery and delivering the news. And they're also shorter segments. So if you can't always have time to watch like longer podcasts like mine and Baron's, I think his is a good channel to watch as well. Certainly, so the color Emma wore is exactly the color I want to see Meghan wear. She has actually worn that color before, but it was a very different style of dress. I don't know if you remember I think it was the meeting with the Commonwealth young people. One of the engagements that Harry and her did when they were still in the fold. She wore this beautiful brown outfit. She looks so lovely in it. So she's worn that tone and color before, but it was just a very different. It wasn't as like tight fitted. It was more like loose and more like day wear, whereas Emma's is more evening wear. Also, I mentioned it in passing at the end of the last episode, but has the slide not has the slide not loaded? That's annoying. Hang on a sec. Well, okay, we'll get to that in a minute then, because I have to find the slide. But in the meantime, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has followed me on TikTok. I started my TikTok journey about a month ago now. And we have gotten to over 1,000 subscribers, so for followers rather, on TikTok. So appreciate that so much. Getting your first 1,000 is always an incredible benchmark on any social media platform. I was very lucky to get my first 1,000 subscribers on this channel in like 24 hours. It was just because of one person who shouted me out. And I think also the amazing thing about TikTok is it's a very different community. It's people that like short form content. So if you prefer short form content, definitely head over to TikTok. But of course, I do repost all of my TikToks as shorts and videos here. And it's actually been a good way of encouraging me to just make more content. So appreciate everybody's support with that. My next milestone for TikTok is 10,000. So if you are on TikTok, make sure that you're sharing any content that I post. Much appreciated. All right, finally found the slide. I just wanted to say congratulations again to Meghan for the Signal Award. She won the Gold Award. I think it was for, what was it, Best Business and Culture podcast. And obviously Archetypes also, I don't think Archetypes won the Signal Award, but Archetypes also won awards of its own. So congratulations, Meghan and Lemonada Media. And Emma Grede also won, I think it was like the Silver Award for Best Newcomer. And let's go on to that. Emma is 41, by the way. I think she's 41, 42. Gorgeous looking women. And she held a dinner for some rather fabulous women in LA. Apparently, this is something that she does frequently. And the whole concept is to get women who are doing great things together, invite them to have a seat at the table, invite them and encourage them to network, help each other. And she gave a lovely speech. She said, don't just let this be a glamorous, evening. Talk to each other, make those introductions. She talked about how she got many of her opportunities because of introductions. And there were, people, I think Rachel Zoe was there, Nicole Avant, who I think she was a former, wait, give me a sec. What did she do now? Oh, she's married to the CEO of Netflix, but I don't like to just I don't like to just say that, a woman is a wife of so and so. She does have her own accolades. So give me a sec. Ah, yes, she is the former US ambassador to the Bahamas. She's a producer and an author herself, and also a powerful voice in entertainment and philanthropy. And yes, she is also the wife of Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos. So sitting right next to Meghan. And then Meghan also provided the wine for the event. And so Emma wrote on her Instagram, "A seat at the table, Los Angeles. In a city built on dreams and even bigger ambition, one truth remains. Success is never built alone. Indeed, there is no competition at the top, only collaboration." And some people apparently, on this side of the Atlantic Ocean, don't seem to understand that. For too long, we've watched how men in business have mastered this, making deals over dinner, sharing opportunities over a game, and opening doors for one another in rooms we can't always see. This is one of the things that we talk about when we talk about power dynamics and how deals don't always get done within official spaces. They often get done in unofficial spaces. It's that old boys club culture, deals and things and networking that get done at the pub. Sometimes at the gentleman's club, there was a big scandal years ago where, in banking, they were having, meetings in strip clubs, and how that kind of, excludes women. At the golf course, at the shooting range, a lot of deals and networking gets done there. And so women have to create their own spaces, their own tables where they can share ideas, contacts, and resources. So Emma goes on to say, this dinner series is about making that energy ours, about women coming together to share openly, trade resources, and help each other get ish done. Because when women choose to collaborate, to champion each other, and to speak honestly about the highs and the hard parts, we don't just change our own stories, we change what's possible for every woman who follows. Here's to more seats, more voices, and more women leading, building, and owning their power. And can I just say, these tables, we should be creating these tables in our communities always. This isn't just a thing for powerful women with a lot of money. In fact, it's normal working class women who need this more than anything, bringing our resources together. So, today, after this podcast, think about the women around you who really are about building, about leveling up, um, about motion and moving forward and ideas. They don't have to be the biggest ideas, even if it's small things you do between yourselves, for your community. It's just all about creating positive space where we can grow, we can heal, we can uplift each other. That is so important. And I love how also, they brought a lot of the women who were there also contributed to the evening. Camilla Marcus, who's a chef, designer, and activist, she provided the food, gorgeous food, plant-based dinner. And Kelly, I think it's Kelly Wurstler, who's the architect and designer, for providing the space. So this is, obviously these are very powerful women or women who are up and coming in business, but this is something that we can all emulate. I think it's Caddy from Highbrow Hippie. She recently got funding for her salon and her hair care products that are doing very well. I think one of the CEO of Clever Blends was there. Definitely go on Emma's Instagram. She's posted some really cool videos, what everybody was wearing behind the scenes. All of this is what Meghan was missing when she was sitting in that dusty castle. And the thing is that Meghan used to go to things like this before she was in the royal household. I saw a picture of her. I think she hosted a dinner and it was for some kind of charity surrounding, I think it was like food security, and Stanley Tucci was there. Stanley Tucci, who has a cooking show, by the way. I would love to see Emma and Meghan and Stanley Tucci do something. He's actually very charismatic and very fun to watch. I'm hoping that Stanley Tucci gets to be a guest. I just thought about that. But yeah, sorry, I sidetracked a little bit there. But what I was trying to say was these are things that she was doing before. And I can't imagine going from being in environments where you really do believe in collaboration and you're all about that to all of a sudden you walk into this institution, which is meant to be a family, so-called family / institution / crabs in a barrel, with the bees, the wasps, the men, and the scorpions in grey suits. What that must have been like for Meghan. Just night and day. And to get her freedom back and to be surrounded by this type of positivity. I feel like one of the reasons the royal rota rats, the UK tabloid people, often rip into the Hollywood crowd is just because they can't control them. And they operate outside of their approval. All of this doesn't require the Daily Mail's approval, the Sun's approval, Rupert Murdoch's approval. These people don't care. They got their own money, their own businesses. They're not beholden to the UK tabloids, who at this point are just a joke. I mean, they've always been, but now people really see it. Yeah, that table was beautiful. The setting was beautiful. All right. Thank you to Kevon Slims, who said, the past 2 weeks has the UK media oozing with bitterness. They can't contain it, indeed. The UK media and the palace. Let's have a look here what you're saying. Oh, I love that dress that Emma was wearing as well. Gorgeous dress. Thank you, Church Nelly, for posting all the links. Yes, please do go read and follow Feminagra. I might actually reach out to them and see if one of their writers wants to come on the show. I just thought about that. Yeah, I'm so happy that Harry and Meghan got away from that cesspool. Rahini, at this point, I feel like not even the devil wants Murdoch. Indeed. Devil sending his best angels to keep Murdoch alive. It's like, I don't want that man down here. Keep him on earth. Keep him on earth. Any other details that I wanted to post about this? No, it was just a gorgeous evening with successful women bigging each other up, supporting each other. It actually started trending. I mean, who gets a dinner trending? And it was Meghan attends. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, attends Empowering Women's Dinner with Emma Grede. Like, who gets the dinner trending? I see Meghan and Emma Grede doing something very big in the future. I mean, Emma she works with Skims, the Kardashians. Skims is actually one of the handful of Kardashian enterprises that has actually done very well. People don't realize actually how much Kardashian products flop, but Skims has done very, very well. Also, is it the American company? The American something, the denim brand. So Emma knows her stuff. She really transforms business. And I see her doing something in the fashion and all beauty space with Meghan. And whatever it will be big. I'm just really waiting for, as ever, to start being in retail stores. Like, I just can't wait for that. I really hope 2026 is the year they really push hard for that, and international. Okay, on to the next thing. What's on the next slide now? Oh yeah, and this is just a reminder, Meghan looking as fabulous as she does, having all these contacts and friends. And Kate was scared that Meghan wanted her fashion contacts. You know what? It's looking like now Kate's the one that needs the fashion contacts because her stylist is gone. The stylist that was copying Meghan and her friends anyway. When you actually think about that, like the fact that, you know, Harry mentioned this in his memoir, like that's what apparently caused initial tension. It just shows you how petty and vindictive and what a mean girl Kate is and how insecure she is. Because, I mean, so what if she wanted your fashion contacts? Why wouldn't you share? And you know that Meghan was an actress. Of course, she'd have her own fashion contact. She worked in Hollywood. Why would she not? Are you that jealous, or you believe that you're so much better that whatever you have, Meghan would want it? Girl, please. This is another reason why they're just so mad that Meghan saw, she looked around them dusty castles and she said, no, nothing there was impressive. And you're talking about she wanted your fashion contacts. Girl. Please stop. Okay. Next thing, the royals and their work ethic, or lack of it, rather. Electra, it said Meghan in DC has them pissed. I mean, Meghan just the last month has them pissed. Now the lazy ones can relax. Are you sure? I mean, we've got the Christmas with Love Meghan coming. They're going to have their schedules packed now. They're going to have their schedule packed, making pies, petting goats at farms, rugby matches, all the things to make themselves look as busy as possible. All right. So there are calls from Republic for full disclosure of royal family's lazy work schedule. I love that the name Workshy William is really sticking. Electra, royals don't work, they just pose badly. Exactly. That's literally what they do. Traditionally, that tired ass Christmas concert, yes. Be ready for the Christmas concert. It's crazy because now I've been following this is the last 4 or 5 years is the most I've ever actually followed the royals, and now I realize it's just a cycle of the same things. I'm like, on their own royalist board, the Christmas concert, Trooping of the Colour, Wimbledon. It's like there's the key things that they never miss. Oh, give me a sec, y'all, because this is actually behind a paywall. So let me just remove the paywall and then I can read this properly. Give me a moment. Sharon, you said, if this was recommended by a fashion contacts, they're failing. Mind you, the designers that Kate wears, a couple of them, their design houses have failed. Anyway, campaigners have, now that the article has loaded, campaigners have called for a full disclosure of just how little the royals do, following media coverage of Prince William and Kate Middleton's visit to Northern Ireland. Despite media outlets reporting his visit to Northern Ireland this week, anti-monarchy group Republic Records shows Prince William has a work-shy schedule. Data taken from the court circular, the official record of past royal engagement, shows William only has had engagements on 13 days in the space of 2.5 months between August 1st and October 15th, and several of these are described as brief. Republic says it suggests he engaged in the full-time equivalent of 3 to 4 days of engagements during that period. Graham Smith, chief executive of Republic, said the royal family give a false impression of being busy and has called for more honesty. The palace likes to paint a picture of busy royals supporting good causes. The reality is a work-shy family whose occasional as a work-shy family who occasionally visits charity, is usually a short drive from Windsor to give an entire false impression. William and Kate are particularly lazy, putting in just a few weeks full-time equivalent of engagements, while the public pay William a private income of more than 23 million a year. And that 23 million a year, we don't even know exactly where does that go. We need full and honest disclosure of just how little the royals do and where their money goes, and the impact that they have on public life. William received an annual private income of more than 23 million last year from the surplus profits of the Duchy of Cornwall estate. Republic insists the Duchy estates are public property. In a lengthy report earlier this year, the organisation argued the duchies are not the private property of the royals, but public assets that have been state property for hundreds of years. Buckingham Palace insists the two vast property empires are private estates, but there has long been a debate over who really owns them and who is entitled to their profits. August was completely blank in William's calendar before a brief visit to the Natural History Museum in London appears on September 4th. While the BBC News wet themselves over the latest royal trip, the reality is a little different, Republic posted on Twitter. He then went to a rugby match on September 6th before visiting Ascot and going to a couple of Homewards events, a program he launched to tackle homelessness the following week. The only other engagements he had in September were brief visits to Cardiff and Southport, private meetings, a charity dinner, investiture, and a video call with an organization, and a video call with Earthshot. An investiture ceremony is a formal event where someone receives an official title, rank, or award. He has only had 5 days in October so far, with engagements scheduled so far, including a brief meeting with the Estonian president. Okay, that's random. And a charity launch event. During their first visit to Northern Ireland for 3 years, William and Kate met recently qualified firefighters and visited farms. Back in July, King Charles was seen on video being asked why his family costs £500,000 a year. Well, it's more than that. While he was out meeting the public on the street in Newmarket. The king, who appeared to be taken back by the comment, seemed to reply, "Oh, yes," before walking off. A 27-page report from Republic last year laid out how the royal household now costs the taxpayer almost $500 million a year. Oh dear. The estimated price tag included hundreds of millions of pounds not accounted for by the sovereign grant, a payment that is made annually to the monarch to help fund their official duties. Republic said the bill for the royals included lost income from the duchies of Lancaster and Cornwall, as well as an established £150 million security bill, costs to struggling local councils, and lost revenue from state buildings used exclusively by the royals. Long story short, they're not worth what we pay. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about this, folks? Heather, you said, I believe Kate is so tragic because she spent her life trying to bag William. She never developed friendships or interests. Her own sister has dropped her. It kind of seems like that. I mean, when the whole story about Kate having an illness and disappearing happened, people disappeared to the Caribbean. And you don't see them around often. Electra, you said this is their karma. If they didn't try to compete, people wouldn't pay attention. Who does something and who doesn't do anything? I mean, if they did anything useful, people wouldn't be comparing. If they had taken some notes from Meghan, people wouldn't be comparing. Work? In what world do the rules work? Exactly. All right. Last thing I wanted to mention before we clock out, it's getting late here in the UK. Well, it's 2 a.m. This big fat nothing burger from Buckingham Palace regarding Andrew's titles. So let's have a read. This is the statement from Buckingham Palace. In decision with the King and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago and back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honours which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. Ends. This is by a statement by Prince Andrew. This means absolutely nothing because those titles mean nothing in this 2025. You know what would have meant something? If he was banged up behind bars. That's what would have meant something. This means nothing. He will no longer use the titles, but he will still hold the privileges and protections of being the son of the late Queen. And so to me, this means absolutely nothing. And as this Twitter user pointed out, read the statement. He has not given up his titles. He has agreed to no longer use his titles. Rest in power, Virginia Giuffre. And My continued prayers to the victims of Epstein that are still alive and who will not receive the protections and privileges that Andrew does and will continue to. He has been front and center at every, family service, funeral. I mean, you'd think they'd just have some sense if he's going to go because his family sit him at the back. Nope, he's front and center always. Yeah, this means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Big fat nothing burger, window dressing. It's going to be the headline. They'll make it look like they're doing something. I wouldn't even be surprised if the palace put this out and Andrew didn't even know this was happening. I wouldn't be surprised. Because Charles has been trying to set him straight for some time. What do you all think about this? What do y'all think? Mush, we've never seen Kate with the girlfriend out like normal women. Since the wedding, no. Yeah, this is all just fluff. It's all just fluff. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the palace, if Charles or William, possibly Charles, put this out and Andrew didn't even know that it was coming out. I don't believe, this is my theory, just my made up theory. I'm not stating this as fact. I don't even believe that Andrew put this out or that Andrew knew this was coming out. And quite frankly, at this point, unless this guy is ever going to be thrown into jail, I don't even care about this anymore. Every other week, whenever they want to distract from something the other royals did or throw somebody under the bus, it's Prince Andrew and Epstein. Prince Andrew and Epstein. Until the day I see the headline, Prince Andrew thrown in jail, to me, it's just a constant merry-go-round of the media recycling this story because it gets clicks and views. While nothing happens, no one's held accountable, and he's still going to be living it up. Because at the end of the day, Charles may be very annoyed by him, William may be disgusted by him, but Andrew knows where bones are buried, and because he's part of this institution and he knows where the bones are buried, to keep their own secrets, they have to protect him. Virginia Giuffre's memoir is coming out and damning Andrew from the grave. Well, it would have been so much nicer if she was still here with his memoir coming out. Sorry, with her memoir coming out. Sadly, she isn't. Mush. The Andrew situation is to stir up the public to call for Harry and Meghan's titles. It's all to go after Harry and Meghan. And like I've said a million times on this podcast, if they take Harry and Meghan's titles and if they take the titles and because most people who care about Harry and Meghan, follow Harry and Meghan, who buy those As Ever products, they don't really care about the royals. Like Harry and Meghan have now transcended from royal life. For a lot of people, they're just Harry and Meghan. And that's no disrespect to Harry and Meghan's, family name, to Harry's heritage, but it's just the truth. People just care less and less about anything royal. Harry and Meghan are now, yes, they're royals, but there's an element to their popularity that is also because people see them as celebrities. And quite frankly, the celebrity element is more powerful than the royal element. So, I mean, they can take the titles. Heck, Harry could abdicate and Harry and Meghan would still be popular. It literally doesn't matter anymore. And I think the palace knows this, the press knows this, that they pretend that it isn't the case. If Harry and Meghan lost those titles tomorrow, guess what? I'm still buying the jam when it's available in the UK. I'm still gonna buy Meghan's clothing line whenever it comes out, beauty line whenever it comes out. I'm still watching With Love Meghan. And so is everybody else. So take the titles. Like it's game over now for all of this nonsense about take the titles and please. Please. Mush, my personal opinion is that Meghan should give them their stupid title. Well, in the Harry and Meghan documentary, Harry and Meghan said we offered to give back the titles. And they said no. Now, the question is, why did they say no? Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about them damn titles. Just take them already, because we tired. The only thing we're waiting for is, as ever, international shipping. We don't care about no damn titles. If they take the titles, wouldn't she revert to prince? Apparently so. Apparently this is the rule. Don't ask me. Don't ask me what the rules are. I have never looked them up, and quite frankly, I don't care. What I do care about is international shipping for as ever and when that's coming. Okay. I think we will leave things there. Thank you so much for coming as always, folks. Should be doing a podcast tomorrow. I did actually forget. Somebody was yelling at me in the comment section after the podcast. Somebody who watched the replay. Yes, there was meant to be an event in June that apparently got moved because of the protests and wasn't happening. Listen, there's so much going on at once. Sometimes I forget things. So yeah, I totally forgot. I think it was meant to be at the Natural History Museum or something. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And in any case, we still got pictures of Meghan at this wonderful dinner. So we got something. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.